Good morning, everybody. Hello, all in black today as well, matching my blackboard behind me. It's very rare I wear black actually. It felt like a wearing black day, not because of my mood, but just due to the fact I wanted to wear black, which kind of is the opposite of colouring outside the lines, which is the point of this actual live. So it's one of the things that I allow people to, or remind people, not allow, but remind people to surrender to, that is part of their true essence, to give themselves the permission to be able to colour outside of the lines of life. And my question to you is, do you allow yourself to do that? And I always think back to times at school. Actually, I'll show you some of my art that I've been doing. I have actually coloured outside the lines in many ways. This is some of the stuff that I've been creating, actually quite opposite to what I am wearing. But I always remember that when I was at school, there was times when, you know, we used to do lots and lots of colouring and drawing, and it was all very structured, and it was all about, you know, making sure that the paint didn't go over the lines, and if it did, then start again. You know, this is kind of in the 80s. I don't know what it's like now. I'm sure it's a lot freer in expression. But I always remember as a child being one of those people that deep inside of me fought with that. It's like, this isn't me. You know, why can't I just be free and be able to draw and paint what I want to, and be able to call myself the artist, be able to call myself the dancer, because I didn't dance in a structured classical ballet way. You know, I was a tap dancer. You know, I was somebody who banged my feet really hard on the ground and expressed myself through dance and through tap dancing, not so much ballet. I used to stand at the back of the class and laugh a lot, you know, in my ballet classes. And I also see that in writing as well, in what I write, you know, what is structured for people and what is free. And there's a specific writer, I don't know if any of you know who it is, but there's a writer out there, and I don't know his name, but he writes without full stops or periods if you're in the States. And I find that quite amazing that he can get away with that, and I just love it. I love that form of expression. And so basically, that's what I'm asking you today is, in what areas of your life do you colour outside the lines and feel okay with it? And what areas of your life do you see yourself restricted and holding yourself tight? And that could be anywhere in your life, any point of your life, with your family, with your work colleagues, even with yourself. It's like a sense of control. What do you control within yourself where you will not allow yourself to step out and be free? So I'd love to hear from you below. And if you've got an issue with this and you would like to take it on, then feel free to go to my homepage at www.silent-moon.co.uk, and I'll put it below, and you can actually book a free session with me and let's talk about it. Let's speak a little bit more about it and see where we can unstructure you and go with the flow. As one thing that people have said about WOW, my Wild One weekend, we're doing the 4th one in January. There's more about that on my homepage, and again, I'll put the link below. But WOW is not a retreat. It's one of those places where we come and we flow and we work with the energy of what is at the time. And although there is, you know, obviously I don't go along and say, oh, we're just going to do this. There is a loose flow, a loose flow, a loose structure, that's the word I want, to it. Hi Tracy. I colour outside the lines with my magic, but I'm so strict with my life. Oh, interesting. It really need to stop and open up myself to love. You bloody well do, girl. Let's have a look. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's really important to mention, that, you know, how you can do that with your art, but then do it in your life. It's like, look at those two contrasts, you know, and where can you bring some of that beauty into your life, of your freedom? Because that's a sure sign that you've got the freedom within you, but you just need to draw it in into your life and look at that. I can help you with that. If you want to book a free free session. But anyway, so yes, so wow is all about that, is about finding that expression, and what anybody brings to the table or to the circle is opened up and expressed and listened to by, not just by me, by everybody that's there. And a lot of the time within our lives, we feel that we're not listened to, we're not heard, and that's part of the reason why I hold wow, is so that we can have that free flowing space of being heard and being listened to. And when people walk away from that weekend, they feel like they've been heard, and a lot more. But there's often, that is all that they've wanted, is to be able to be heard by other people. And that's why the connection between everybody at WOW is so strong. And I do want to say that somebody did say to me yesterday, no names mentioned, that, you know, you all seem to be get on really well, and you all are really connected. Am I going to feel like an outsider when I'm there? And it's the answer to that is no, because what happens is when you book on WOW, you get straight into the Facebook group, so you get to meet everybody who's wonderfully open and welcoming to you, so that by the time you actually get to WOW, you know everybody anyway. So that's what's really magic about the space that is held. And it was something that I wanted for myself, and it was something that I created and manifested. I really wanted to have that space, to be able to not only facilitate it, to have that in people, that there was that beauty. Good morning. Hello, Jenny. We need to put you in. Lovely to see you, my love. And really connect with that, and we get that at WOW. So if you're somebody who feels like you're just an outsider, if you feel lonely, if you feel you want to get out of the lines, get away from the lines and scribble outside of the lines, then WOW is a perfect place to do so. And I'm not talking about just literally doing it with your artwork, but I'm actually talking about, you know, where do you do it outside the lines in your life? Where do you actually speak? It's like speaking up for yourself, you know. It's like, I hold back because I daren't step out of the line and colour outside of it. So why not bring your colour out and step out and speak up? You know, where do we not do that? You know, where are we so boundaried with ourselves that we just will not allow ourselves to just that sense of freedom? And it can be thought of as obnoxious as well, and you know, often they speak up, but you know, while you're learning to do this, you know, sometimes it can come across as a bit kind of obnoxious and a bit harsh. But while you're learning, you know, it's okay to actually step back and go, oh, that was a bit off. Next time I'm going to do it from a place of love. Next time I'm going to open up from a place of, you know, of love for others that I'm speaking to, and love for myself as well. So remembering to put that in place first before you do, because it's like being a toddler, you know, when we start we look at these new parts of us and we break old habits. You know, we're young, you know, we're getting up and we're walking and we're falling down, and that's all okay, you know, that's all okay to start with. Let me see what you're saying. I made a post 4 days ago where I feel I don't fit in and I have no voice, even though I run pages and groups and have 16k followers. You really hit home to me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, it's not about how many followers you have. Hi, Lorraine. It's not how many people like your posts. That's the illusion of it all, you know, and that's the social media illusion, that we are portraying something with social media that isn't real. I talk about this a lot to my groups, you know, and I talk about it a lot to my one-to-ones as well. It's like social media is not reality, and we can get caught up in so much in social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, that we just get so drawn into, and it destroys so many people. And I have to say that I've had to learn, and it's been a bloody lesson, to really detach from what is real on social media and what isn't real. So I'll give you a few tips of how I do it. Is that I step away from my phone every single day now, because I knew it was becoming a serious addiction. I mean, I spend much of my life at the moment in meditation, so I mean, yeah, I do my work, but or any spare time that I choose to have is meditating and being with who I truly am. And I used to be a flicker and a scroller and somebody who would constantly be looking at people and doing the whole comparison thing. And if you catch yourself doing that a few times, first you might do it and you might just go, "Ugh," and throw the phone. But when you start to look at that and see yourself as the observer, as the witness of it, it becomes quite funny, because you can actually look and you can see yourself doing it, and you can just put it down and walk away and just go, okay, I see myself doing that. I tell you what, I'm going to test myself. I'm going to turn my phone off today, or I'm going to turn it off. Let's start with half an hour. I'm not going to say a day, because it is an addiction. And turn it off and see how much freedom you feel inside of yourself in that time. You might feel that you're desperate as well to get back to that phone, to that addiction. But to be able to walk away from a space without your phone, without going out and being able to, there's a lot of time I'll not take my phone with me now. And that sense of freedom that I get, like the olden days before we had the bricks, of just being able to go, God, it's beautiful not to be able to have my phone. It's like when I was in the lake last week, or whenever that was, and just that swimming, just about that freedom of disconnection from everything but nature. And that's my choice, is to be held by the fells, to be held by the water, and not have to have that unrealistic connection with people. And you're so welcome. And please share about your feelings as well. This is not about me telling you, this is about you sharing. I'm just spouting off on my page, like we all do. But share and say what your experiences of it, because it's really important, as social media is got its wonderful positive sides. We have to remember that it does. I've met some fabulous people on social media, and if it hadn't been for social media, I don't know how I would have met them. I may have done it, it just might have been a lot slower. But I mean, look at this now. It's because of social media. But then it's especially tough for people who are in their heads. It's especially tough for people who lack self-esteem. It's especially tough for people who have mental illness. And I know, because I've had it all, it's especially tough for people who have addiction issues. So there's all these things that you need to look at to see it as a habit, and it is a habit. So remember that it's like you have control of the mind doesn't have control of you. And this is exactly the same. You have control over this phone, this computer. And when you want to step away from social media, you have the choice to step away from social media. It's not telling you that you have to be there. I do most of my business on social media, but now I refuse to be run by social media. For example, a fine example is, I do a lot on Instagram, I do a lot on Facebook. Often they don't balance out. You can sit there going, oh, why am I not doing that? Why isn't that working on Instagram? Why isn't that? And you feel that you need to get the next thing to be able to make it work for you. And sometimes it's just being able to sit with your energy rather than worry about what's going on social media. And when you put your energy and your alignment into place, everything will come to you anyway that you need to come to you. Nothing's going to bypass you that you need, as long as your energy is in alignment. Just pressing on your see more, Tracy, because I'm checking. 120 plus groups. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. Well, to be honest, in that situation, you are giving too much, which will deplete your energy. You need to find your own personal boundaries within that. And on top of that, you need to learn to say no, because by not saying no, you're not helping yourself. It's not, you don't have to be a hero. And first and foremost, when you're in the self-help world, when you're in this world that we're in, the big thing for me since I created Silent Moon was to be able to say no to people, was to be able to not have to get back to people straight away, was to be able to leave that email until tomorrow. And I will do that now, but there was a time when I didn't do that, and I'd get back to people straight away. And you must put yourself first, because if you're not in energetic alignment with who and what you are and what you're giving out there, then you're not fit to serve anybody. So if you've got depression and you're feeling depressed, then you need to go away and you need to sort the depression out before you help somebody else, because what's potentially happening is you're needing to get yourself into alignment so that you're able to deal with other people. And you should also make sure that if you're dealing with so many people a day, cut that down, because you can't deal with hundreds and hundreds of people a day. You have to be able to step away from that. And you know what? The big thing that we have with WOW and with our fluorescence groups, and it's one of my big philosophies, is that I too speak my truth within my groups. So I don't have any fear of saying in my groups, what is going on for me. I don't try and act like a guru. I don't try and think, that I'm any better than anybody else that is in that group. What I do bring to that group is what I'm feeling at the time. So, and then Lorraine's hearting that because she's in my groups. That's why WOW is the way it is as well, is that I'm not there to teach you, I'm there to remind you. And that's one thing that I feel very strongly about. None of this stuff is stuff that you don't already know. You know it, you've just been conditioned to forget it, and reminding yourself that this is who and what I am and this is what I need to do first and foremost for me is very important. So true, so clear to see and to feel from you. Yeah, if my thought is if my vision is and my view is that if I can't be myself, then how dare I, in a way, really get into a world of this with other people? Because of course I'm still on a journey, of course I'm still learning and going through that. We always will be. But there's no way that you can save, hi Andy, there's no way that you can save anybody. That the person that you're healing and helping has to first and foremost want to help themselves. And if they can't, then that's not your stuff. That's not, I've had people on one-to-ones who haven't necessarily wanted to do the work. Well, they probably have wanted to do the work deep down, but they haven't been prepared to actually action it and put it into place. And you know what? That's absolutely fine. But that's where your work stops with them. Because you can't make somebody, you can't, that old saying, you can't lead a horse to water. Or make it drink thing. Yeah, you know that one, and make it drink. It's exactly the same with your clients. You're welcome. If you can't do it. You just can't do it, and you can't force them to do it. And those are people that, they'll drop off. And you know what? That's great, because new people will come in. New people, the more that you work on yourself and you stay aligned, the more the people that are aligned with you will come. And there's proof out there for that. Just keep your energy aligned. Do all the things, first and foremost, that are right for you. We suffer when we try to make reality repeatable, sending love and magic to you all. Absolutely, Andy. It's so true. And yes, keep the magic. It's so important to keep the magic in your life as well. That's I love that word, magic. Because you know what? Life is just magic, that's the word for life, is that when you get yourself into alignment and you work towards what you want every single day, you'll start to see it around you just appearing in little manifestations and whoop, there it is again, whoop, and people will turn up that you've been thinking about, and situations will happen, and it's just beautiful. And using your imagination, Lorraine knows I'm very much a lover of Neville Goddard's work, and I love Abraham Hicks, and I follow these people, and I do a lot of work listening to the people that I really connect with. And the imagination is so powerful that if we allow ourselves just to really be in the first person, imagine what it is that we want in life, and really seed that and put that into place and feel it as if the wish is fulfilled, there is no doubt that it will come to fruition in your life. So it's, Tracy, if you want to see your future with these groups in the way that you want to see it, and visualize it, see it as you want to see it, and manifest it, and feel it from that person as if it's already there. See it, live it, and experience it, and feel the feelings. Feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel the feeling inside of your being. When you're, unhappy, and certainly with depression, sometimes it's quite hard with depression. I don't know, because I've suffered from depression, is that it's quite difficult to be able to feel happiness. And I know in time I've been able to be with the help and the guidance of other other beings on this planet, or have been on this planet, that their teachings have just suited me. And find somebody who suits you. It's really important to do that. It's just being able to shift that energy of when I feel like shit, when I feel depressed, is that I'm able to find a way, a better feeling place, and I'm able to find that energy inside myself. Okay, I'm going to sit for 2 minutes and I'm just going to feel how it feels to be happy. In this depression, I'm going to feel how it feels to be happy. How does it feel to feel happiness inside of me? Breathing deeply and just really allowing the breath to consume you. And the in-breath brings vitality, it brings life force, it opens your body. It allows you to expand into that beautiful space around you. And the out-breath gives you permission to let go and just relax and just drop. They're two opposites. It's what I teach my addiction groups every single week. Just be aware of the quality of our breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. It's all you need to expand into the in-breath, to relax into the out-breath. Yeah. Absolutely. They are. That's what I mean. It's just a flip away, and it's just there. It's just we just have to change it, and it's our responsibility to do so. So remember, as you said, Tracy, that you can't change somebody else, and you can't shift them. You have to just shift yourself first, and be in the energy and the alignment that you need to be in, and you will find that everybody that is aligned to you will come to you, and stay with that. Right, everybody, I've been on long enough. I've done 2 very long lives today on different pages. So thanks for being here. And just going back to the title of the live, just look at where you do colour outside of the lines and where you don't, and where you can add a bit more of that magic and that life force that really is you to your life, where you're not doing it, where you're controlling it. And maybe there's areas in your life that you need to control a little bit. But, if you want support with it, you can have a free consultation, 30-minute consultation. Just book it in at silent-moon.co.uk and we can chat more about it personally. All right, my loves, take care and have a great day.